Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for checking out another episode of Esports Analysis. In this one, we are going to talk about Chicago versus Atlanta, but first, I've had a couple comments down below about people wanting to know a little bit more about spawns and rotations. So I've covered these a lot in the past, but I do want to go through them because I realize that I've gotten a lot of new subs recently. So just real quick, they are playing on the map Azhir Cave. So just to kind of run through this, there's a good spawn over here to start the map, and there's a bad spawn over here. So these are the two spawns. If you're lucky enough to have the good one, then perfect, which would be the green one in the top right. If you get the bad one, then you have to worry about flipping right away. So like we were just talking about, the first hill is right in the middle. So you do want to be coming from this spawn. And the whole reason being is that the first hill doesn't matter too much. But if you're in this spawn location, then you have spawns as it rotates to the second hill. The second hill is one of the most dominant hills on this map. It's one where you can easily lock down all 60 points if you have spawns. So for this one, what you want to do is spawn back here, be in the second hill, and then be pushed up into these areas. If you're around here watching these crosses, then you're able to keep the enemy team out of the second hardpoint. As we go ahead and rotate to the third one, this one doesn't matter too much, but you do want to have this spawn. Only reason being is that if you're in this spawn, then you can easily rotate into the fourth hill. So if you're talking about the third hill, just by the third hill by itself, you can actually max out the time here in either way. So say you're coming from this way in the third hill. If you push up into here and this building and maybe over here, now you're probably going to be able to max out spawns because you have choke points as the enemy comes from this side, just like the exact opposite of that. Again, we're talking about the third hill. If you're spawning on this side and you have control of the hill and you're pushed up into broken and in this building over here, and maybe you're up in this top stone, then there's no way that the enemy is going to be pushed into that third hill anyways. So the only reason why the place you want to be for this third hill is on this side is so that it's easier to rotate into fourth hill and you have spawns there. Talking about the fourth hill, when you're here, again, you want to be spawning back on this side. Not only is it closer, but if you have control of hill and you can push up to these two choke points, then you're probably going to max out the 60 seconds. It does work the other way. If you are coming from the bad spawn, which would be here, and you have control of the hill, and if you get pushed up into here and you have somebody watching this doggy entrance, as they call it, or coming from pipes here, then you can easily max out those 30 seconds as well. But it's much easier to hold down 3 and 4 if you're coming from the opposite way. Last but not least, on the other side, this is the fifth hard point. You do want to hold back this spawn. If you're in here and you're watching this cut and you're pushed up, there's a little broken half wall right here. So you can watch this lane, you can watch this lane. One person you do want to have back in this area so that you can watch over the left flank. The last thing that you want to happen is have an enemy push through after 4 and flip you guys and have you spawn out. So most of the time they do have somebody pushed up and watching that right lane. And then obviously on the fifth hard point, you don't want to be spawning here mid-map, because if you do, there's one cutoff this way and one cutoff that way, and it's really hard to break. So those are the 5 spawns. So as it's in the fifth hill, from there, from the fifth hill, you want to hold down this spawn. For the second hill, you want to hold down this spawn. And for the first hill, so for all 3 of those hills, that's the dominant spawn. So as we get into this game today, look for that as we break this one down. All right, guys. So as we go ahead and hop into this one, you'll see that off the break here, following Formal, they are not on the side that you want to be on. So it just depends on how the vetoes go, the map vetoes and all that stuff. But as of right now, they are not spawning in the side that you want to be on. So what their primary goal right now is going to be to try to push through and flip spawns. So you can see a couple of the SMGs trying to push through, trying to flip spawns. They do have control of this hardpoint, or at least they did, but it's really not that important. The only thing that is important is being able to contest when you can and pushing through one of those routes, either far to the left or far to the right. Nice kill though there, right there, and kill for Formal. But as you can see, if you look at the mini map in the top left hand corner, it looks like Chicago is all pretty much posted up right in the middle of the map, and that's not how you want to approach this. So it looks like that was Arcides pushing that right side, and he did end up going down, but they have to start making plays towards either this left flank route through the cave or the right flank route over by the cliff's side, the cliff's edge over there. So with about 8 seconds left, it does look like Formal's trying to push up. That would have been a pretty decent kill. That obviously wouldn't have won them spawns, but he would have been able to push up and gained a little bit of match control. So as we rotate back to the second hard point, that entire first 60 or 70 seconds or so, based on before the hard point opened, went entirely Atlanta's way. So Chicago did not have any luck whatsoever. Now, if you're looking at Formal's screen, he he stunned somebody there. That's why he knew it was there. But it looked like there were a couple blue dots that were pushed behind it. So it would be nice if Formal would die. Okay, so I was just saying, let's see where he spawns. So we can't really tell where those... Okay, so those blue dots were pushed up, and they are in hill. So this is a fantastic job of flipping spawns. When Formal died mid-map, he was able to spawn back in the back of the map. And for the rest of these 20 seconds, I would guess that they're going to be able to hold this down. So after a really poor break in terms of not being able to flip spawns and get where you want to be, they are in hill. They're maxing out this time, and it looks like they're going to take a lead into the third hard point. So as we go into the third hard point, remember, you do want to try to flip this if you can. If you can't, that's perfectly fine. It's just going to make holding down the third hard point and getting into the fourth hard point a little bit harder, but it'll be interesting to see what happens here. So right now, Chicago is struggling a little bit to get past these choke points. So remember, when we were breaking down the map at the beginning of this video, we said third is really easy to hold down as long as you're pushed up into choke points. And 5 just went down in the kill feed from Atlanta. So to start this third hill, they were out in the choke points and they were holding down the hill. But now it looks like the slaying has kind of went the other way, and now it's going back and forth. So nice kill from Formal there. He is going to be able to pick up a little bit of time, and he is pushed up into the hill. Nice two-piece. He just happened to be looking there. Somebody's up top. Another kill. So this map, even though it seems like Formal's slaying out a little bit, and they are winning the third, and they did win the second hill, even with all of that, the score is pretty much tied. It's 54 probably to about 50 by the time this one is over. Now, as we get to the fourth hill is one of those dominant hills where if you have spawns, you can absolutely hold down the entirety of that. Now, Formal's looking behind him because I think somebody's already setting up for fifth. There's a BZ right there coming in from they're getting pinched there from behind. So it'll be interesting to see. So Chicago does have the spawns that you want to have, but they're not pushed out at all. So they're currently just stuck in that choke point. Now, as we go further throughout this map, there's 30 seconds left. Even though you have spawns, again, remember, it doesn't matter what side you're coming from. There are really only 2 choke points from either side. So in that fourth hill, they just weren't able to get control of the hill and push out into those choke points. So they've made the conscious decision to go ahead and try to flip spawns to get spawn for this fifth hard point. Now, there's going to be a battle back there. I can't necessarily see on the left-hand side of the screen who is back there, but they are battling somebody. It looks like Simp just got a kill. Major Maniac got a couple. So as they're trying to flip spawns here, this is not going their way. And you're going to see that this is going to be pretty much impossible. It's going to be extremely difficult to break through. Man, that's a bad loss there. Nice kills by Simp. But, okay, so Alec has pushed up a little bit, and RCD's just went down. So this one is almost impossible. If you're just continually running down this small choke point, it's super hard to get through here. So here in just the last couple hills, Chicago had control of spawns for that fourth hard point. They just got slayed out, and they got pushed back by those choke points. And then here for the fifth hill, they didn't have spawns, but they aren't able to get through this tiny choke point. So this is not going the best for them. At this point in time, with about 15 seconds or so left on this current hill, things have started to go against Chicago. So let's just hear what they're talking about and what they're going to look forward to do in terms of strategy moving forward. Let's turn up their audio a little bit.
Two underpass.
No, hold
one up.
Yeah, two right. I mean, we already have.
I'm helping dome. Underpass. I need help. Right.
He's top stone, dead.
More right.
One full pinch.
Cell's there.
That was one shot right. Cell's one shot deep right.
Top yellow.
He's going top stone.
Top yellow.
So it did go back to the first hill, but they're just unable to push out spawns here. They're still being stuck on this side of the map. So just like the very first time this hill came around, they have to push out either the left or right side, and you can see all these blue arrows pushing right down the middle. They have to throw smokes either in cave or on cliff's edge and try to push out that back spawn.
Yellow, right window, and one's pushing on.
Weak under yellow through there.
Nice, one's in yellow.
Pushing cave.
I'm pushing cave.
Wait,
he's pushing a beat, I'm saying?
He's on time.
Our spawn's broken.
The other thing that I want to talk about real quick is that they seem really conscious about flipping spawns, which isn't a bad thing, but obviously that's what you want to be doing, but the bad thing here is that they're not taking advantage of that time at all. Nobody's on that middle hill. So if you want to push with 4 people, that would be great, but one person probably could have got 40 additional points there. So instead of being down by 100, you'd only be down by 60. And if you're only down by 60, that's a lead that's not insurmountable, right? If you're down by 60, you can come back from that. If you're down by, as we approach the end of this hill here, probably like 120, 130, that's a little bit different. So let's turn it up again. Let's just hear what they're talking about just to get a gauge for team morale here.
Top yellow already.
Said almost half full pressing right now.
Half full Preston, yeah, you're
Yellow
gonna kill me.
dead.
Half full, half full.
Pressing half full. One shot half full. One shot half full.
We just can't. We can't keep letting it run. It's
I'm
not gonna
not
do
doing it,
anything. We're just gonna get fucking put in a blender.
I'm
Top
rotating.
stone. Top
That's a
stone.
decent point there by Gunless. If you're just pushing down that middle, there are head glitches everywhere. So that's not going to work too well. What they should be doing right now is setting up in the choke points for the third hill. So if you look at the mini map here, it looks like most people. So look where the third hill is. If you're looking at the mini map in the top left-hand corner, Chicago has people in the hill, but they don't have anybody pushed up into these choke points. So as it rotates to this third hill, they're not pushing anybody back. It's just a battle in the hill rather than a battle outside on the other side of the hill. This was poor planning here by Chicago.
Top stone, top stone, top stone.
Try to push up. What do you think?
Get your right side. I got time.
Oh, you can hold, man.
Two broken,
Oh
two
shit.
broken.
Already fuck.
Top stone.
I'm going
Top
top stone.
stone. Top
He's
stone.
top
Peeking.
broken,
He's
top
top
broken.
broken. Top broken.
Broken right side, not peeking.
Again, these are deep. If this was like a tie game, then this is a decent way to just hold, you know, hold points, hold a tie as you before you can get back and rotate to the fourth hill. But if you're just battling and you're down by as much as they're down by, they do have to push out a little bit. So as we rotate here back to this fourth hill, looks like Formal's here first, and he's doing the right thing by pushing out into these cuts. Hopefully he can kill the people as they try to rotate in. But we'll see what happens here. Let's listen.
I'm watching right
I
from
just
hill.
got shot off.
Short,
spawn,
short.
Simp's in the back. Simp is spawn trapping me in the back.
Left on me, cell, left cell, cell's deep.
That would have been a nice two-piece. There's a couple there. So the entire Atlanta team is pushing through that beat-on area. They only need 6 seconds, so I would look for them to try to flood this and try to So they're going to try to overrun this fifth hardpoint. They're going to try to win right here. Let's see if they can win a team gun battle or if they can push them off.
He's in hill, Seth. He's in hill, Seth.
Oh, I went to hill?
47, 48,
Oh, that's not good.
Not doggy.
and it looks like that's going to be all
So,
Holy
she
shit,
wrote.
you just
So
drove the whole
I've
thing.
watched a little bit. This is like the fourth map of this rotation here. And the first couple were split. There was one that Chicago won. There was 2 that Atlanta won. And I think this is the 4th one. So all the other ones have been relatively close. This one was not close at all. And you can kind of tell why. Look at the kill feed. Simp and Cellium both dropped 31. Those that didn't kill for Atlanta were in the hardpoint. So I don't know. In terms of this one, I think that the entire map, they were just on their hills. They were on their heels. They weren't able to get spawns. And when they did get spawns, like for that first rotation, the 4th hardpoint, they weren't able to push up into those choke points. So with that, we'll see how the rest of this scrim goes. It's encouraging at least that in the first few games, they were at least there and competitive. So we'll see how the rest of this scrim goes. But with that, guys, if you're new around here, hopefully you enjoy the map breakdowns. This is kind of what I used to do. But for those that are new, I did want to go back through it for you guys. So if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Minnesota LAN, less than 2 weeks away now. I'm going to break down probably 20 videos that weekend. So I'm your headquarters for everything Call of Duty League and that opening Minnesota LAN. Don't forget to hit that like button before you head on your way. And thank you guys so much. I will check you in the next video. We'll see you.